Cool, and we're back. And I feel like Sandy is awkwardly holding a bunch of, like, bags and things while Anya has, like, gone off. Like, Anya, the person that she knows really well, has, like, gone off and, like, with a cat.
Yeah, like, knelt down by the fire that's being built and is, like, not paying attention to the social problem that Sandy has got all this stuff and nowhere to put it. And then it's like eventually I probably look up and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Like, kind of try to pile it neatly by the door and then... I'm assuming no one else is wearing shoes inside?
I think we're all wearing socks.
Yeah.
It's really cold.
Take off my shoes and that would probably be very loud because they would be hiking boots as well.
Yeah, and I think I'm picturing that, like, by the front door there's, like, a little rack for people to put their shoes, and it's got, like, a little tub under it to catch all of the, like, snow melting off them.
Mm-hmm.
And then next to it is a wicker basket, kind of like the kind that you would keep, like, your laundry in, only it's just full of socks. Like thick woolen, fluffy socks that are not necessarily, like, they're bundled in pairs, but they're not necessarily matching pairs.
Yeah, it's just
they're all
fluffy
matching,
socks.
They're matching in the amount of, like, fluffiness and length, but not, like,
the important thing, right?
The size, but nothing else. And probably, like, some rolled up extra blankets as well, because
absolutely. Yeah, I think hanging above them is another one of these hooks with, like, a whole bunch of blankets that have, like, a little thing sewn onto the corner that's like a thing
so
that
you can hang it
from. Yeah.
I'm just
and like a coat rack, because everyone would have
I used to have a cat that would take my hiking socks, so the biggest and fluffiest pair of socks I had, and just, like, run around the house screaming at the top of her lungs, and it was just bizarre. So now I'm just like, what's going to happen with this cat, right? We're just going to wake up in the middle of the night with this cat doing these screams around the house with a pair of socks in its mouth. Reminds me, what does the cat look like?
Yeah, what kind of cat is this?
I think
what color is it?
I think it's, like, completely white. With, like, bright blue eyes.
It's like a ragdoll cat.
Yeah, like, big and fluffy, and
I'm, like, patting it by the fire, and I'm like, are you made of snow? You could be cold snowy.
This cat.
Like, putting my face to its face.
Yeah, it just sits there, like, frowning at you, being like...
Judging everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jill does actually let out, like, a kind of snorting, like, amusement sound. And then, like, grabs some, like, newspaper and, like, scrunches it up in her, like, big calloused hands and, like, builds a little teepee around it and gets a fire. I'm not gonna bore you all with a detailed description of how you light a fireplace, but, like, that's what I do.
Then I place a stick on it, then I place another stick on it, and then another.
But the third stick is slightly bigger stick, and I put that at an angle such that it puffs up the other.
Yeah, I strike a match, but the match breaks, so I mutter to myself and get a second match.
My God, Ash, you break matches? I'm very underwhelmed.
No, but, like, you're a bear.
Not right now, I'm not.
Not right now, you're not. Sorry, yeah.
I've forgotten, like, the intricacies of the process of lighting the fire in my time away, so I just, like, bring a big log straight away, unhelpfully, when the fire's not ready for it.
Yeah, and I kind of like sigh to myself, and, like, I try to hide it, and, like, and then kind of, like, nod, and I'm like, yeah, thanks, yeah, and, like, take it from you again, like, careful not to, like, touch you. And put it in. I think there's, like, another little wicker basket that's just full of, like, bigger logs.
Yeah.
Fine. I, like, put it in there. And then, I think
the question is.
I think Jill is comfortable. Just existing in this moment, like, it just in like as, like, idle chatter happens and just, like, us all being present in the room and, like, a fire being lit and you two cooing over a cat. Like, Jill is comfortable with that happening.
Yeah, that's the question, is it?
If no one else is, like, motivated to, like, make conversation.
I think Sandy's less cooing over the cat and more like idly patting the cat, but like watching between Anya and Jill and being like, okay, I've heard a lot about this relationship from Anya, but like I want to see the interplay, what's going on.
Sarah, I think that sounds like we're quietly sharing space.
Okay.
Yep. It definitely sounds like Jill is. I don't know. The question is Anya doing
Sandy isn't.
Yeah.
Sandy isn't.
I definitely think Sandy is not involved directly.
Do you think that you're also making the move, or Anya, or are you? Is it a bit more stilted for you?
I think it's a little bit awkward, and I think Anya's definitely kind of trying to use the cat as something to do, like, because Sandy's come in and it doesn't feel quite right, and already wasn't quite right with Jill. So then Anya's sort of like, oh, I want to pat this cat, I'm patting this cat.
So it sounds like
that's sort of like when you go and get the pet as like a thing to entertain your guest because you're not sure like what to do.
So Luke, it sounds like you're quietly sharing space with Anya.
I'm gonna roll it and see what happens. Yeah, it gets sad.
Yep.
I get some XP. Good job.
Yeah, you can't light this fire. It's just not going. Just won't start. And like I think you try you go to like turn on the like, because the other one's a gas one with a range hood. Is that what you said?
No, like it's like a wood fired like range.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
like made of cast iron and all that.
Right. So yeah, you're like, fine, I'll go and like start this other one, and that one also just for some reason won't catch. Like you'll get like a little bit of flame, and then it'll just die out before it catches onto anything else.
Yeah, and so I think we get a shot of like Jill's face, like kind of like really like frustrated and like weary, and just like God, like what? This is all like awkward and hard and tense enough already. Like, why won't it just fucking like warm up and unfreeze everything? And like, there's definitely, at least in her emotional landscape, a deeper metaphor going on here. And God, yeah, I think she just like starts like.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this emotional suffering already?
Already.
See, whereas I feel like this is the opening beats of deep work.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yep. Yep. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, and so I think she's just like futilely like. I think she like gives up on the matches. She's like, clearly the matches are the problem, and like reaches up and like there's a like on a little hook in the wall is like flint and like steel that she uses when she's like out camping, and she like gets that down and starts like scraping off like frustrated showers of sparks and like cursing at them as they fail to catch, and just like, for fuck's sake, Thor, God damn you. And the change I would like to make, the thing I am trying to achieve. Well, I'm seeking understanding of why things are so cold between Anya and myself.
Cool. I love this move. It's so good.
Is it only possible away from here?
Yeah.
And that's the specific place?
Well, it's only possible, away from Sandy.
Please don't kill Sandy.
So it's either possible. So you can either understand it by getting one of them like on their own, But also, you'll need to provide like, if it with Anya, you would need to give her like a connection to something that it like from like an earlier time, from like an experience or a thing that is like linked to an emotional memory, whereas for Sandy it's just an issue of trust.
Yeah. All right, cool.
This cat is like icy cold, like under its fur.
Hey, Sandy, this cat's weird. Don't you think? I think it's like really cold. It's like almost frozen. I hope it's going to be all right.
Well, we could make a hot water bottle or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wrap it up with that.
So yeah, you've got like your arms full. Do you just like drop your bags down and then go and like fill up a hot water bottle?
Well, this isn't my house, so that would be very presumptuous.
Exactly, that's the question.
I was strongly hinting that Anya should do it.
Yeah. Anya like gets up and like goes and rummages around where she thinks a hot water bottle should be.
I mean, you can get a hot water bottle.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'll hold the cat while you're doing it. Just be like, you need to do something to not be like just standing here.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, so we're gonna be like awkwardly filling up this hot water bottle and like ask some.
So yeah, you turn on the hot tap.
Bad question, like, how was your trip? Was it all like really slow because of the snow?
Yeah, it was weird. It took a really long time to get the chains on the car. Like just driving back and forth, and it was weird. Like I didn't think it was that bad, but apparently Carol did.
Oh.
Yeah, we like flashback to Carol being like, oh well, this is all going. Oh well, it's all well and good. Me running errands and all this, but this is just ridiculous, and like just like making her own little like fuss. And then like once you're actually like on the road proper, she's like just like switches back into like cheery mode. Yeah.
I'm gonna like unzip a bunch of my jackets and like if the cat will put up with it, like hug it, like, and then like put the layers back around it, if that makes sense.
Anya, the hot water tap is just continuing to run cold.
Huh? What is all cold?
Do you have a kettle?
I assume we have a kettle, or do we not? Do we have to put it like on the fire?
I mean, we've got a kettle, but it's not an electric kettle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because nothing in this house is electric.
Okay, yeah, so we need the fire on before we can boil the kettle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the only electrical thing we have is like the record player.
Yeah. So I'm like, we do, but we need the fire. So seems like it's going to take a while to fill up this water bottle.
Yeah, cue muffled string of cursing from the cat.
Yep. Sandy.
Yes.
Yeah, this cat is just like you've put this icy cold cat in your like jacket, and it's just like sucking all the warmth out of you. You're like that thing of like when you put something like really cold next to you.
We'll be fine.
You're hanging out with a friend, and it's winter, and they, because they're jackass, stick their really cold toes up against like the back of your leg, and you're like, fuck!
Mm-hmm.
I am that friend.
You're a sinner, that's what you are.
Yeah.
Well, I have really poor circulation, so like my system's always warm, so I'm just like, hi. She's like, get away from me.
That's nice.
I don't. Can I use my special knowledge of medicine to check for other signs of like pneumonia or something, or hypothermia?
Search for facts. Yeah. That sounds like that. So roll plus smart.
Smart.
Ash, it sounded like not just like the special move.
The specialty move means that you always get to ask an extra.
Oh god, it does. Sorry, because the opening is just like the Dungeon World move, my brain just fills it in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you find facts, but you also get to ask me. So you get to ask like 3 questions from the find facts list and 1 of your own.
Okay.
Or other search for facts.
I think, as in, these questions are going to apply to the cat, I assume?
To the situation that you're investigating, yes.
Okay. What here is dangerous to me?
The cat.
Feel like that's a gimme. Who did this?
The cat.
Anya?
Interesting. Where can I find beauty here?
Outside. And you have 1 extra question of your own because of your special move.
Will this cat be just fine the way it is?
Yep.
Thank you.
Not a problem. That's how the game works.
That's my job.
Did I freeze a cat by accident?
It's a
Apparently.
metaphor.
Am I Elsa?
I don't know. Start singing.
No. I don't sing words. I say them poetically.
Yeah, exactly.
I will move cat away from my body warmth until my jacket's back up. Okay, this cat's gonna be fine. I'm not letting it suck any of my warmth away anymore. Because I think, by the sounds of it, if I continue to let it do that, I might get pneumonia or hypothermia.
I mean, I feel like as soon as you did that, you felt your body like have to like kick up the like homeostasis. So
Suddenly, I'm craving sugar.
yeah, right. Yep. So yeah, like one of you is there. So one's holding a cold water bottle, the other is holding a cold cat. In the kitchen, in the kitchen.
Like looking at each other, like.
I feel like the kitchen has like slate floors. For some reason, that's in my head. And then in a different room, like in the different room, we can just hear the sounds of like a grumpy mum struggling to set a fire.
Do I call Jill Mum?
I don't know what you call it.
It's up to you.
I don't know. I mean, like, the somewhat Irish thing to would be to use Ma, but...
I mean, maybe you don't... Maybe it's that you don't know anymore, right? Like...
Yeah.
Yeah, like it suddenly feels weird.
Well, like, and because you, like, went off to college, like, far away... We never got to really negotiate that. What does our, like, post you turning 18 relationship actually look like? And so it's all just like,
Yeah. So yeah, I'm specifically doing a thing where like I'll just come in and say things without like
to avoid having to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without having to get your attention. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just kind of come in and be like I did in the morning, like, my snowshoes don't fit anymore. Without any sort of
announcement
thing on the front of it, yeah.
I know. I'll get some new ones when I go into town. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna like stay cold in here for a while, Sandy. You know about medicine. Is that cat gonna be alright?
I think so. I mean, it seems to
It was purring.
Yeah, it seems to be fine. Like, maybe it's just got like a really thick undercoat, and that's what we're feeling.
Maybe. Yeah, that must be it.
Sounds like it might be happier outside then.
I don't know.
Well, it tries to came inside, and it's like...
I mean, coyotes sometimes think it's a good idea to come inside. Because they're animals doesn't mean they're welcome.
I liked the cat.
Sandy's just like slowly shrinking. Just be like... yeah.
It stays upstairs.
Okay.
And I make a kind of like take it upstairs, please gesture with my head.
Look at Sandy.
Spare boxes up in the attic you can use for letterbox.
All right. Like, go towards the stairs to go look for a little box, and then like look back at Sandy and like look at her stuff, and I'm like,
oh yeah, like, I'll have the cat. I'll get my stuff. Because apparently we just have to carry the cat everywhere.
Yeah, we're just taking the cat in our hand.
As soon as you put the cat down, it will find a blanket or carpet or something and just start like pawing at it.
Yeah, I make like a loud grunting noise, and then we cut to a shot of the cat, and we just see two massive bear paws like pick it up. And then we cut back to a shot just of normal Jill, like looking the cat in the eyes really seriously.
It makes it looks at you, Jill, in a way that like you're like, I recognize that expression, like that face, the look in its eye. You definitely recognize it.
Do I recognize it like specifically, or is it just a sense of like I have like this feels familiar? You've
met this person before, like is the feeling that you have, but it's a cat. You've met this cat before.
Do I have a memory that goes along with that?
Memory? Like, no.
Yeah, just like at some point in my life, I have met this cat before.
Yeah, it's deja vu.
Yeah.
I feel like right then, like, Sandy just, like, accidentally left, like, one of the bags downstairs, so she's just come back down where, with, like, Anya's still upstairs, and she's just like, do you not like cats?
Cats are fine. We're just getting to know each other. I think I walk with the cat, like the cat and I walk into the lounge room, and you distantly hear me saying like, what is it that you want? What's your deal?
Okay, unless you're trying to do a move, I would like to follow you and like say like kind of from the doorway, just be like, I think Anya might like it if you got on with the cat and then just awkwardly leave.
Is that speaking a deep truth?
It's either speak the truth or the right words.
I mean, it's one or the other. Like, it definitely isn't both.
Like, that's the thing, is that those two moves are mutually
quite opposed.
Yeah. So I think it's the question of like,
what my purpose is.
Yeah. What's your intention?
And I feel like I don't know if there's fictional context to establish yet that Sandy knows that that's true.
Yeah, she doesn't know that it's true. She's going out on a branch.
In which case, I feel.
In which case, it feels like it's the right words, right? You're like, I want the social awkwardness in this house to stop, please.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Smart. Boop, 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 boop.
9. So 7 to 9 for the right words is you get to they give you something close to what you asked for. Either way, ask them, what does my manipulation cost you?
Yeah, what I want to like specifically is like Jill to like offer an olive branch, I feel, to Anya.
Yeah. Also, you have to ask Jill the question.
Oh yes. What does this manipulation cost you?
I feel like it costs me my chance to like figure out what the fuck is up with the cat.
Yeah, it's interruption.
Like I just get completely distracted from that train of thought and like lose the weird feeling and just like forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm like, And like, I think I like tuck the cat into like a big like breast pocket of my flannel like shirt. Like the whole cat, because it's a really big pocket.
It's so cold, Jill. It's like ice.
It's right over your heart.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a metaphor.
Mm-hmm. Right over.
And I just tuck
big icy cat right on the tit.
Big
like
block of ice. My tit. No, your heart. Iconic lines from cinema.
I'd watch that movie.
Jennifer's Body is a phenomenal film. But yeah, I think I put the cat in there and like go over and just like grab your like remaining suitcase that you'd forgotten. I don't even like as absently as though I don't even notice. Like it weighs just like nothing. I just like clump up the stairs. And I think we cut to like whatever scene Anya is in, and we just see like going like through the doorway, we just see a bear go past, holding a suitcase in its teeth with a cat sitting on its head, and it just walks like through the door and like down the corridor to whatever guest room is being used.
In my head, like that shot, that it's shot like what's that?
I think very Wes Anderson. That's my feeling.
Oh, okay. No, there's a thing about a school for delinquents. There's an anime about a school for delinquents that would
Foster's School for Imaginary Friends.
No, it's an anime. And everyone, and yeah, it would totally happen in that. And like I know it's animated.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone in the school is a delinquent. Yeah, like one like. In that show, like, literally, I think a bear does just do this exact shot at some point, just without the cat on their head, so,
yeah,
I think that happens. Yep.
Our show is better because it has a cat.
So while the bear's going past, inside the room where Anya is, she's just, like, quickly tidying up her, like, desk, which has a lot of scrunched up papers and stuff on it, and she's just kind of come in and gone, oh wait, Sandy's here, and like she's probably gonna come in my room, so she's like,
oh yeah, right, cool,
just fixing up her stuff.
As you're doing that, I feel like you just hear from like probably downstairs, despite the fact that you were sure that the record was playing, you just hear. And next we have a poem from returning poet Anya, who is in town back again. And like, yeah, and he starts reading one of your poems that you were pretty sure that you never shared to anyone. And you just hear it in the background. Yeah. Yep.
You just put away my notebooks and things into a drawer and close it. And like peer out of the door.
Nah, like Jill is like standing outside the door with a cat. Like, and like holding it in that really awkward way where she's got her hands around like in the midsection, so it's just like dangling a little. And it's like she just like presents it to you as like a peace offering. It's like, there you go. You need anything? More blankets for it? Water bowl?
I guess I should have some bowls up here for it. I don't want it to spill its food and water on my floor.
Yeah.
We got
like those raccoons.
Raccoons?
There's probably a like more Canadian analog animal, but like an animal that fills the ecological niche of a raccoon.
Yeah.
They have raccoons in Canada.
I don't know. I've never been to Canada.
Do they have opossums in Canada? No, don't start that.
No, they don't. They don't.
It might be too cold here.
Yeah.
Also, no, I'm deliberately leaning away from the opossum aesthetic of this.
So, yeah, like, I like the idea that, like, you say the thing about the raccoons, and it's like, and then you realize that was a thing that happened while she was away.
Yeah, right. It's, like, really awkward and sad and upsetting.
Yep.
And I just, like... yeah, like...
The raccoons?
Oh, Rosie... and I think, yeah, Rosie is one of, like, Jill's various, like, partners. Yeah, Rosie left the kitchen door open, and a bunch of raccoons got in. The pantry, just everywhere.
Oh. That would have been annoying.
Yeah, picking flour out of things for weeks.
I'm sure Snowy won't make that much mess.
I think at that point, like, Sandy comes back down the corridor and goes, "Please tell me you're not calling it Snowy."
It's a snow cat.
It immediately starts,
right. It's not very imaginative.
It starts, like, struggling out of your hand. It starts, like, trying to struggle out of your hands.
No, you want to go down? Okay. Put it down.
I think it, like... it just starts to wander towards Jill's room.
Oh.
You're a poet. Like, surely you can, like... haven't you studied something that has a good name for a white cat? Like, not Ophelia, because we don't want it to drown.
I assume she was naming it after Tintin.
True, yeah.
I don't know.
From in your room, you hear, Jill, you hear something like crash.
Yeah, and so I think, there's like an awkward, this whole time there's been like an awkward beat of like Jill looking like she was in the, like, in the middle of the process of getting ready to say a thing, and then Sandy showed up, I'm like standing here like, oh, like what do I don't know what I and then she
to make things worse.
And then she hears the crashing noise and she's like, oh good, okay, an excuse to leave. And is like, and kind of like gestures to her room and like goes over to her room and like closes the door.
So yeah, the cat will be like up on a curtain rail, but in the meantime it has like knocked off like a picture frame you had of like one of your important people. It's a picture of Anya. And it's like fallen down. It's like been knocked and the glass is broken.
Yeah, and I think we see like she doesn't notice it, but like she cuts herself a little on some of the glass.
Mm-hmm.
And so like as she like crosses the room and like gets the cat down from off the curtain, we see like bloody, like slight like bloody like footprints.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she like stares in the face. She's like, "That wasn't very nice."
Yeah, it just kind of like
stay out of here. You understand? This is my place, not your place. And she leans in like really close so that like her nose is practically pressed against its nose, and she's like, "Don't make me eat you."
Yeah, and like it stops. It immediately stops. It's like
yeah, and then yeah, she like goes over to the door and like opens the door and like deposits the cat on the floor.
No, she doesn't because the door is stuck.
Oh, weird.
It seems to be just like jammed shut.
Like bang on it.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Door's stuck. Did you check?
Okay. Come and like out to the hall and try and pull on the door.
The doorknob is like icy cold.
It feels like it's frozen.
The doorknobs get frozen here?
And I look down at the cat like, I don't appreciate this.
I wish the fire wasn't being so much trouble.
Yeah, the cat looks up at you just like, is there a problem? That same look it gave when it was like pawing the ground.
And I like with the cat like still in my hands, I start like pacing like back and forth in my room, like mumbling and like frowning and like making annoyed noises and thinking about like when Anya would have been like maybe like 13 and we got in a really bad fight. And I stalked off to my room to calm down, and she barricaded the outside of my door. And like remembering this and just being like, and I would like to do deep work again.
Yeah.
And the change I want is I want my fucking door open.
So, to open the door, you will need to put the cat in the like ensuite and like close the door, and also probably make sure am I allowed to be do you feel it's okay for me to be cryptic here?
Yes.
Make sure there's space to open the door.
Remind me to never let you be cryptic with me.
It like cryptic is like really appropriate to this game.
I know, but I'm just like, I would have no idea what to do with that.
It's also just like Ash and I like to be spooky.
Yeah, so, that's it. This is me and Luke being dickheads.
Spooky dickheads.
We're the spookiest of dickheads.
Robert Frost is a really good name for the cat.
It is.
Shout out to Explosive in chat.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I was going to say, what's happening
practical about the door, and it's being like, oh, it's just obviously got jammed because it's so cold. We should like try and like get the mechanism working with, I don't know, some tools or something. I'm sure we've got.
Why do the hinges on?
They are. They're on the door opens out into the hallway. No, it doesn't. That no one ever does that. The door opens inward into the room.
Okay. No, it would have to open out into the doorway, or Anya wouldn't have been able to barricade it.
Good point. Yeah.
True.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it opens out into the hallway. Yep.
Well, which means if all else fails, we can like take the hinges. We can take the pins out of the hinges.
Mm-hmm.
And
open it that way.
Just take it off.
Yes.
And put it back later.
The old, what's his name? Will. The Will from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, Will Turner.
Half pin barrel hinges.
Will Turner. These are half pin barrel hinges.
Yeah.
See, I was just going with like every time one of us slammed the door when we were teenagers, my dad would just be like, "I'll take that door away from you if you do that."
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It didn't help that we couldn't actually slam my door. Like, you'd try and it would get stuck, and so you'd have to like throw yourself bodily against it.
Fair. So do you two go off to get tools?
Yeah, I think yeah. I'm gonna go and look for like a screwdriver or something.
Maybe try and get the fire going again while you're at it.
Yeah, okay.
Weather forecast sounded rough. And wrap up warm.
Cool.
We will.
So yeah, you head downstairs. It's still cold. What do? Or what is anyone doing?
Do we have like a tool place? Like a little...
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
Totally.
Yeah.
Inside, or do we
Absolutely.
have to go like out to the tool shed?
Everyone, I'm going to start drawing another diagram in Roll20. Everyone,
Okay. Right. We're prepared. Excellent.
Everyone hang tight. So, like, and this time I'm going to draw one of those, like, cutaway side-on diagrams.
Okay.
So here is the lower floor of the house.
Uh-huh.
And here is the upper floor of the house. And this is all mountain, right? This, like, we're built into the side of a hill.
Okay.
So out the front is all of these. Where's the right color I need for this? Want like a nice deep green. Out the front are all these trees. Right?
Yep.
But like more of that. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah, just one big tree can represent all the trees.
Ash, can you copy paste some trees for me? I don't have GM privileges.
I thought that was the side with the hill.
So that the house is set back into the hill. Like this is us looking at like the front of the house.
Gotcha.
And the hill behind.
Right, okay.
That, yeah.
Yeah, so the trees are like...
Yeah, and then out here next to the house is like the shed.
Yeah.
And that's where like all of the wood is kept under cover that we then split to use as logs, and it's where all the tools are, and it's where like the kayaks are kept and like all that kind of shit.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Jill have a forge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 110%. 110%.
Yeah. She's amazing and I love her. So yeah, the shed will have like all of the tools you could ever want.
Cool. I don't think this is something that I especially know about. I don't know if Sandy knows about the right screwdriver and
House.
No, like which tools to use though.
How to break down a door.
Taking off a door. Screwdriver, yeah. You happen to notice sort of like what size we need. I'm just like grabbing all of it.
Yeah, if we're taking the hinges off, then you just need a flathead one to lever up the hinge pin.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just looking over at the hinges on the door.
Yeah, I was looking at a door there. Alright. I get a bunch of tools and maybe while I'm here, some more kindling if we've got like a
yeah
collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you've got like, so who's got the tools and who's got the kindling?
Yes.
Yeah, I think when I was getting the tools out, I was just like giving them to Sandy. So now Sandy's just like, and then I went and picked up some kindling. So
cool, excellent. So yeah,
it's like, I know nothing about starting fires, but it's also super awkward to be like the one trying to open the door.
Yep. Yeah.
Like that break into my mom's room.
Yeah. When I was a teenager,
Very weird.
I broke my wrist breaking into my friend's house for them, because they'd locked things inside.
Wow.
I was like, it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm doing this. So yeah, so I'm assuming that Sandy heads upstairs while Anya's trying to light the fire.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, if you think you know
Anya,
how to do it, I'll try and get the fire going.
Anya, I think you're encountering.
All right.
Okay.
I think you need to roll weird.
Roll some weird.
All right. Oh, weird.
There's my house.
Can I do this? Will it roll if I press the dice? It will. Yay.
Hey, 8. Meet with fear or suffer. You don't. Yeah, you. I think what happens is that you like try and start the fire, and it just like gets full of smoke, even though there's no flame. And it, like, makes you cough and hack, and but no, there's no heat from it. Are you going to meet with? You're going to meet with fear or suffer?
I think meet with fear.
Cool. Roll plus steady.
Oh, I'm big on 8s today.
There's no one else in this scene, which means you suffer. Cause
okay.
So roll steady again for suffering. As your like lungs fill with this strange ashy, like almost.
What the hell?
Grease.
I got another 8.
Yeah, you did. Good job.
Phenomenal.
You are wounded. Name a move. You take -1 ongoing to that move. Tell us why.
Oh, yay! That's dramatic. Okay. I need to like reacquaint myself with moves that it could affect.
So yeah, you're like coughing and hacking, and like it's like you've inhaled the back end of a train.
Yuck.
It's ashy, but also somehow wet.
Ugh. This is gross. I think it will definitely affect my like talking in some way, because I'm probably going to keep on coughing when I try and say stuff.
When you try and be honest with people?
Yeah.
We'll try to manipulate.
I think so. I think it's when I try and be honest, because
that's sadder.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, and Sandy and I no longer speak honestly. Anyway, so I'm just gonna have like even more trouble.
Yep. Love it. Cool. Sandy. Oh, first off, while people, did you want to do anything while they're away? Jill?
Yes. I would like to. I'm just trying to think about like my because like I think I have an ensuite, but like it's also not much of an ensuite, right? Because like Jill's not the ensuite kind of person.
No, I think it was in the house when you bought it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so like God, what do I even use? I don't know if I even use it for anything.
I think I like there's that thing of like the unused ensuite that just has gathered, like it like a dusty small bathroom is just is like always a weird thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and so I'm just like, yeah, you know what? Like, fuck it. I like run a bit of water in the bath because cats need things to drink, and also cats like still water, apparently. And I like put the cat down, and I pointed it, and I'm like, I expect my guests to behave. And then I just walk out of the room, and like we see like from the cat's perspective, me like walk out of the room and the door closed behind, and then we cut to back into the main bedroom, and there's just a bear standing in front of the door. Just reaches out and like puts a big like heavy paw on the door, and just like pushes.
Yeah, and it opens.
Yeah, and then we get like the corridor shot, and it's just Jill again.
Well, I think that like we get the shot like for like it opens, and the bear like in that kind of bearish way like kind of like lopes out into it, and there's just a moment of silence of like looking at this empty hallway with a bear in it. And I think that's a good time to take a break. Yeah, let's do that.
Did Sandy like come upstairs with the tools ready to help open the door, and then it was just open?
I mean, that's what happens. Yeah, definitely.
But it will happen after the break.
It will happen after the break. We'll come back in a second. All right, back to that.